Last week I introduced that we need to revolutionize our way of thinking, from thinking of ourselves as Homo sapiens, or the knowing man, to Homo Exercens, or the practicing man, or the doing man. And I mentioned that the secret sauce to doing that is deliberate practice. And in this speech I'm going to highlight two examples from my personal life that highlight deliberate practice and highlight the three key tenets of deliberate practice. Identify the expert, find what makes them successful, and feedback. When I got here to Monterey about a year ago, I've normally been a 32-inch waist size since I was a senior in high school. And I had gained weight on my last command. And I wanted to do something about it. I went up to a 34 when I got here. So when I got here, I identified the expert. I went and sought out a gym that had an emphasis on nutrition. And they had a nutrition consultant there. And then I found what made them successful. And then he held quarterly talks every 3 months. And his whole philosophy was a Whole 30 paleo form of diet. So I went to one of those talks and he talked about basically, keep the long story short, but get rid of cereal, get rid of dairy, get rid of sodas, get rid of sugary drinks, replace it with water. Don't eat out as much. I was eating out a lot. He gave me a meal plan to prepare meals at home. And the big thing was feedback. He would take skin fold caliper measurements in millimeters of different parts of your body. And every month, he would remeasure you, sit down with you, ask you questions, and tweak things depending on your progress. So I started the program in October of 2015. My belly was at 27.4 millimeters, hips 18.8, my cheek was at 10.4. So he sat down and he said, a healthy fit male should get this number, the belly about in the 10 to 11 range, the hips under 12, and the cheek under 10 millimeters. So I went on this Whole 30 form of diet for a month. He remeasured me a month later, and my belly went down from a 27.4 to an 18.2. Hips went down to 18.8 to 12.8. And my cheek went down to a 9.8. We sat down. He said, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Don't change it. So I didn't change it. I went to December. As you can see, the numbers kept going down. And he remeasured me every month and every month. So finally, when I got back to the 32 waist size in June of this year, I got down to 10.6 belly, 9.9 hips, and 9.4 in the cheeks. And he's like, this is where you want to be at. And he said, your form of feedback is just wear your clothes. See how they fit. And my form of feedback is every time I wear my uniform on Tuesdays, I've been wearing a 32 again since June. I feel how it fits, and it's fit great since June, and I know I'm doing well. So that's how I applied deliberate practice to the issue of my weight. Naturally, following this diet, eating more at home, grocery shopping skyrocketed through the roof. And I kind of figured it. So I started tracking my spending. My old roommate introduced me to something called Mint.com. I started doing it, tracking my spending. I'm like, I'm curious how much I'm spending. And the straw that broke the camel's back was an estimate of $667 on groceries in the month of August. And I said, that doesn't seem normal for a single person. So I identified the expert. I decided to read a book in August, cut your grocery bill in half, and then I went on the internet for saving tips. And I found what made them successful. And they talked about reconnaissance. And honestly, I really didn't know the prices I was paying for things. So in August, for like 3-4 days, I went to all the grocery stores in the area, and I recorded prices. And I developed a plan of attack. Each week, I'm going to visit these 3 grocery stores that have the better prices. And it gave me awareness of what a good price is and a bad price is. Beware of sales involving multiple items. I would always jump on this. 2 packs of strawberries for $6, 2 raspberries for $6. Even though I didn't need it, I would jump on it. And I determined in the month of September, I said, I'm just going to buy what I need. I'm not going to let a sale influence to me what I'm going to buy. And then I said only shop once a week. This is a problem I developed here in Monterey. I like walking everywhere. I use about 1 tank of gas a month because I could walk to Trader Joe's, and I loved it. But I was walking there 3-4 times a week. Naturally, you go to the grocery store more, you're going to spend more. And as you can see, my grocery trips per month, then I went back to Mint.com to my history. So in July, I went 12 times. August, 11 times. And in the month of September, I went 4 times. I usually go shopping on Friday, so today, this evening, it'll go up to 5 times. And I gave myself feedback every week in the month of September. And every week, I tracked my spending. I made notes on why something was too high and how I should tweak it week by week. And the end result was in the month of July, I spent $612 on groceries. Like I said, in August, the straw that broke the camel's back, $67. Today I'm factoring that I'm going to spend $100 on groceries, and I factored that in, and I've only spent $490.84 on groceries for the month of September, which transfers to about a savings of about $1,800 per year. And that's how I applied deliberate practice to my grocery spending. I identified the expert, find what made them successful, and I gave myself feedback. Same thing how I did with the weight management. Now I want to point out the disclaimer of deliberate practice, and I want to point out that it involves challenging homeostasis. Homeostasis, our bodies like to be at 98.6 degrees. If it gets at 98.6 degrees, it wants to come back to 98.6. And when I mean challenging homeostasis, I mean it involves discomfort. I think of it as a rubber band. This rubber band right now is in homeostasis. But if I stretch it, I feel discomfort because I've taken it out of homeostasis. And what I want to say is it involves discomfort, it involves getting out of your comfort zone. And it can involve pain, like it is at my gym 5 times a week. When I go there, I usually end up like that. And the reason I mention these examples to you of grocery shopping and the weight is because I wanted to highlight that deliberate practice is not just for the world-class athlete. It's not just for somebody going to the Olympics. It's not just for a kid starting out their life. It's for anyone who dreams. It's for anyone who believes that this right here, the right now, is not as good as it gets. And we all have the power to make a change in any area of our life. So go for it. I challenge you, shape your potential. Apply deliberate practice. Just remember 3 steps. Identify the expert, find what makes them successful, and feedback. Thank you.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guest, and in particular Michael. This was an excellent speech, and Michael was taking on project number 8, this Competent Communicator Manual. That project is about getting comfortable with visual aids, and it has 2 goals. The first goal is about appropriateness. Pick visual aids that are appropriate to your message, and visual aids that are appropriate to your audience. And then the second goal is how you use those visual aids. And you want to use them correctly, with confidence, and ease. Michael opened strongly with his primary visual aid for PowerPoint slides. And he used a pointer and got our attention very quickly with a strong voice and decisive body language using the pointer to review what he had talked about last week and to get to the 3 main points that were part of his recipe or procedure for being a doer and for making change. I want to focus particularly on his PowerPoint slides. In a PowerPoint slide, you want to have an appropriate title. You want to have some sort of image that provides a visual cue to the audience. And you want to have minimal text that supports the points that you're talking about and helps the audience remember what you're doing. Michael did well with the first 2, and in most of his slides he did really well with the 3rd point. He had 1 or 2 slides where the text was either a little small because he was showing us a long grocery list, or the slide where he was talking about a particular topic and there were just 3 major points and several sub-bullets, and it would be hard really to work through those. And so those could have been improved, but overall the slides were good. To improve the slides, what you might do is take away some of the color and other things that weren't necessary and have meaning. So you had color around your heading, just a heading, just the text, and reduce the other text even more if possible. There were really 2 parts to his speech, and these PowerPoint slides supported part number 1, where he gave us his 3 steps and he gave us 2 wonderful, compelling examples. And in those examples, he also used bar charts. He used those appropriately. They were very readable. The colors distinguished the 3 categories he was talking about. The only tip for improving there is make your time flow from top to bottom rather than bottom to top. So you work your way from top down instead. In the second part, he talked about the challenge. And his visual aid there was a rubber band, a prop. And he used that extremely well to give us a visual for homeostasis, for the tension that's there, for the pain that we can feel, and other sorts of things. So I deem that very appropriate. You know, in terms of improving the entire speech, you didn't preview part 2 to us in the opening. So it was sort of a surprise. And so if you'd given us that there were 2 parts of the speeches, and the first part with the examples, the second part, you were going to give us the secret. You know, give us something that surprises us, or something to anticipate and look forward to. I think it could have been stronger. And then you had a wonderful Connor's closing where you said, this is for anyone who dreams. And that really brought it back to the audience and made it strong. Wonderful speech. You're ready to persuade with power, and you're ready to inspire your audience.